Hi, and welcome. Welcome back to another Onkruid video. Welcome to episode 3 in this little series. Again, a big series on Erwin Yalom's The Gift of Therapy, series where we cover each and every single tip in this book. Tip number 3, the therapist and the patient are traveling companions. This tip is all about how life sucks sometimes. Life is messy, is a statement a dear friend of mine is making all of the time right now because she is going through a potential breakup, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of doubts, a lot of not knowing where it's gonna head, and she's trying to tell her boyfriend like, life is messy, we can get through this together, and it's definitely true, it's the case. Yalom talks about a French author here, André Malraux, who wrote a book or a text, I'm not really sure, about a priest taking like confessions from everyone. Back in the days, people could confess their sins to a holy father, to somebody in the church, and that would kind of alleviate some of the distress normally caused by them, or that would make them morally more sound again, make them morally healed. And the main conclusion this priest took from hearing about all the confessions of all the different people is that people are actually way more unhappy than you would think, and that there is no such thing as a well-faring adult in this world. A very negative, kind of depressive conclusion, and Schopenhauer, a very famous philosopher, takes it a step further. He talks about how we are not sentenced to death, but at birth, and when we are children, we are sentenced to live. We have a life in front of us full of chaos, full of abnormalities, full of things we don't want to deal with, and we don't get a choice. We are sentenced to it. We are obliged to live the life because our parents decided to put us on this world. And Yalom summarizes both of those stories in the sentiment that it's hard to disregard or to ignore the disdain or the inner despair that self-conscious humans can experience. Once you start thinking about what it is like to be human, yeah, some negative thoughts will come up, and that circles back to life sucks sometimes, life is messy. The main point of this tip of viewing both the therapist and the client as traveling companions is that Yalom views all humans as susceptible to these negative things that you can experience in life. You can't run away from it, neither therapist nor patient. And that's why he is firmly against or opposing to this distinction of us, the therapists, versus them, the clients or the patients. We are both just traveling companions together. And what inspired him to think about it in this metaphor, in this way, is a story by the German author Hermann Hesse, probably Hermann Hesse because he's German, called Das Glasperlenspiel. Das Glasperlenspiel, which is playing with marbles, I think, if I remember the translation correctly. And it's a story about two doctors, one on the younger side, one on the older side, both having drastically different ways to treat their patients. But the younger doctor falls into a state of depression. He can't seem to cure people anymore, he doesn't like his job anymore, he is severely depressed. And after trying everything in his books, after trying his own methods, he realizes, I need to try them better from this older guy. And he starts traveling across the world to meet him and to be treated by him. Now, somewhere along the way, he meets another traveler. They talk a bit, they hit it off, they become a bit friendly. The other person invites the young doctor back to his home, and then slowly but surely it's revealed that that other person was in fact the older doctor that the young person was looking for. That's already something right there. Traveling companions, the younger person gets better just from the travels. The treatment hasn't even started. No, he travels to the old doctor's house, he becomes his apprentice, they become colleagues, his life turns a bit around just by becoming traveling companions. And then in the end, when the old doctor is nearly dying, he actually reveals to the younger doctor that he was not there by chance. They didn't meet each other on their journey by chance. He actually went through the exact same process. He was in a severe depression. He was suffering from major depressive disorder, a severe mood disorder, and he tried all of his own ways. Didn't work. He also thought, oh yeah, this younger guy, he has some different methods, I should give that a shot. And they met each other halfway towards each other. And instead of reaching the practice of the other person, they became traveling companions, and their lives became very valuably intertwined. Yalom is fond of this metaphor, I think, because it completely gets rid of the distinction between doctor and patient. They are both each other's doctors, they are both each other's patients, but first and foremost, they are traveling companions. There's not somebody healing and somebody being healed. They both go on the journey together and both reap the benefits. A good therapy changes both therapist and client, so in the therapeutic room, today, here, we should look at therapist and client both as traveling companions. My thoughts about this tip, about this subject, it very much reminded me of a sentiment we also got delivered to us during one of our seminars and probably inspired by Yalom. And it is that of, it's another metaphor, a metaphor of the therapist being a blind guide. You have some experience in terms of life, in terms of psychological stuff, in terms of hardships or challenges people can experience throughout their lives. You kind of know how to deal with some of them. You can give some advice, some tips, you can listen actively, and from there on distill what this person needs in order to really develop their growth tendency, maybe take away some of their barriers, but don't diagnose. A little bit of a callback. You are an expert in that sense, but the therapy is always about their life. And that's where their expertise comes in, you know? They are the only one that can be called an expert on their own life. And that's where your blind part comes in. You can guide them. You can help them traverse the challenges they see arising in front of them, but they need to be your eyes. They need to guide you in order for you to guide them. You need to travel together, because otherwise neither of you will reach the destination. We are both just travelers along a long, winding road. We need each other, and I am by no means an all-knowing guru that can easily pass on the solutions to them. I need to get their information in order to be able to deliver my information. Our lives also have to be valuably intertwined, just like the doctors. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.